Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about the critical literature review. So I'm a part of group 5, which consists of 7 members, and my name is Guylaine Torchon. Let's start by introducing the main topic with this definition given by Chris Hart in 1998. A literature review involves selecting available documents, both published and unpublished, related to a topic and containing information, ideas, data, and evidence on that topic from specific standpoints. The goal is to understand different perspectives and to assess how to investigate the topic. The final step is the effective evaluation of these documents in relation to the proposed research, meaning to assess whether they are relevant to the research or not. A literature review is critical. It ensures that our research, which is ultimately new research, is positioned within existing knowledge. It helps avoid the risk of reinventing the wheel. In other words, it prevents us from repeating others' research and duplicating already established findings. It contextualizes our findings within a wider academic debate. Essentially, it connects our findings to the findings of others. It also introduces and defines key terminology relevant to our study. And finally, it offers insights into effective methodologies used in prior research. If we outline our learning objectives, we can find main ones. Our goals are to communicate the role of literature reviews. So we are trying to demonstrate how literature reviews contribute to academic writing and research development. Secondly, to explore effective literature review strategies, specifically how to identify, access, and evaluate reliable academic sources. Thirdly, to highlight ethical research practices. Here we address the importance of proper citation and avoiding plagiarism. Fourthly, to develop critical analysis skills. So to learn how to assess the credibility, relevance, and methodological rigor of existing literature. Finally, to synthesize findings. That is to combine various insights to support a research question or hypothesis.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Nur Alina Sufia binti Firzal Nizam, and I will be presenting for how to approach the literature review. The first step of a literature review involves the identification of the various published and unpublished materials that are available on the topic of interest and gaining access to these materials. The example of data sources includes textbooks, journals, theses, conference proceedings, unpublished manuscripts, reports, newspapers, and also the internet.
My name is Nur Alia Farna binti Muhammad Rizal. So I will explain the searching for literature. First, when we do research, we need to explore what information is available. This process is called searching for literature, and it helps us to build on past study, avoid repeating existing work, and identify new opportunity for research. So this process helps us to save time, collect comprehensive data, access inexpensive or even free material. It ensures that our research is based on reliable and up-to-date information. To make this process easier and faster, we also can use a bibliographical index and computers database. These tools are incredibly helpful because they save us time and often comprehensive, and many of them are even free or low cost, especially when accessed through the library or university. Provide access to like annual report, e-book, book review, e-journal, journal articles, thesis, or types of sources in database such as listing of journal articles, book in print, census data, dissertation abstract, conference papers, newspaper articles, and more. So these databases are very helpful for business research because they provide up-to-date, reliable, and academic sources. Next is an example of online database. So online database is an organized collection or structure in information or data typically stored electronically in a computer system. So here are some online database used by the research. So the first one is Scopus, a large multidisciplinary database for peer-reviewed journal. Sign Direct, especially in scientific and technical research. EBSCO host offer academic journal, magazine, and e-book. And then Emerald, focus on business management management and of social science. And then Procus provide dissertation, thesis, journal and newspaper. Last one, Wiley, Springer, Elsevier, Search, Taylor and Franchise. These are major academic published with thousands of scholar journals. They are also open access platforms that offer free academic resources like Google Scholar, a popular and user-friendly tool for finding scholarly articles and research kit, and Academia Edu platform where researchers share their work, and then SCI Who. It's also often used to access paywall articles for free. And then even Google search can be helpful if we use proper keyword and filter our sources carefully.
Evaluating the literature. Abstract. Begin by analyzing the abstract of the study. For the introduction, evaluate the introduction to determine how well the research problem is framed. For the table of content and first chapter of a book, does the structure of the book or paper logic reflect the research question? For the authority, assess the credibility of the sources. Who is the author and what are their qualification or affiliation? To assess the quality of the research clarity and relevant. Is the research question or hypothesis clearly formatted? Is it relevant to the field and broader context explained? Theoretical framework. Does the study use a guiding theory? Is the theory well integrated, relevant and explained in a structured way? Methodology. Are the method clearly described? Is the choice of method justified in relation to the research question? Are the variable operation approved with valid and reliable measure? The data collection and analysis technique approach quantitative or mixed. For the finding and conclusion, do the results support the conclusion drawn? Is there a logical connection between data analysis and conclusion? Does the study answer its research question clearly? Are the implication and contribution to the field clearly articulated? For the limitation, are the study limitation acknowledged and discussed? Does the author reflect on how limitation may affect the interpretation of finding?
Hello everyone, I'll be talking about documenting the literature review. So first off, it's not just about dumping a bunch of study summaries. The goal is to actually make sense of what's in the review. So we'll start with the core functions of documenting what's in it. That starts by defining the key terms and making sure the readers know exactly what it's talking about. Then comes describing, and this could be done by telling the readers how a process works, for example, an experiment, what something is made up of, or even how things unfold over time, which of course has to be done in order. Next is comparing and contrasting, or looking at how different studies or tools are similar or different to each other, and this helps show trends or conflicts in the research. Then you also have to make sure to organize the information given correctly. Classifying is about organizing things neatly into categories, which is super useful when you're dealing with lots of definitions or tools. Then you have to explain causes and effects, and this is where you dig into why something is happening, like low employee morale or poor customer satisfaction. And all of this builds towards developing an argument. So you're not just telling the readers what others have said, but you're also forming your own take backed up by evidence. Finally, you should remember that a literature review should synthesize, not just summarize, which means that we have to blend all of these things into one big conclusion and give our own perspective on what the researchers say.
Hello everyone, my name is Sofia Atifah binti Muhammad Mahizar, and today I will explain the importance of citing references in academic writing. Citing references mean acknowledging the original sources of information we use in our work. Why is this important? First, it gives credit to the original authors, ensuring that we respect intellectual property. Second, it strengthens our argument by providing reliable support from credible sources. Lastly, it helps us avoid plagiarism, which is a serious academic offense. There are two main ways to cite sources. First is in-text citation, which appear within the content, and the references list, which provide complete details of the sources at the end of our work. Next, let's look at APA format, the American Psychological Association, which is APA citation style. follows the author date format, which is commonly used in academic writing. For in-text citation, there are two ways to cite a source. When paraphrasing, we include the author last name and the year of publication in parentheses. For example, Ali 2021 in bracket. For direct quotes, we also include the page number. For example, in bracket Brown, 2019, page 45 in bracket. In the references list, sources should be arranged alphabetically. The general format for books include the author's last name, first initial, year of publication, book title in italics, and the publisher. For journal articles, we must also include the journal name, volume, issue, and DOI or URL. Now, let's see some example of how we apply APA format in the references list. A book reference follow this format like I show you in the slide down here. For journal article, we include the journal name and issue number. The example also include the slide. Website should include the author name, years, title, website name, and URL. For instance, like in the slide 2. Following APA guideline ensure our work is professional, credible, and plagiarism-free. That concludes my part of the presentation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nurul Najwa. I will present about ethical issue. There are two important pitfalls that you have to beware. Firstly, purposely misrepresenting the work of other authors, that is their viewpoints, ideas, model, finding, conclusion, and interpretation. Secondly is plagiarism, the use of another's original works, argument, or idea as though they were your own. Secondly is about two other reasons to take plagiarism very serious provided by Easemans and Wenscheid. 2007, they point out that plagiarism makes it is difficult for the readers to verify whether your claim about other authors and sources are accurate. And second one is you are participating in a specific debate. You need to make your position in this debate clear by designating the authors who work you are building on or whose idea you are challenging. In conclusion, today we have explored the essential components of a literature review. We begin by discussing its key function, how it helps to identify research gaps, provide context, and justify the needs for a new study. We then move on to the practical aspect of writing a literature review, emphasizing the importance of organizing ideas logically and documenting reference accurately using the prescribed format. Finally, we address the ethical consideration involved in literature review writing, including the needs to avoid plagiarism, give proper credit to original authors, and present sources with honesty and integrity. By understanding and applying this principle, we are better equipped to produce high quality, ethical, and impactful literature review that support meaningful academic research.